Devi Surinda Budu Bava Pata Inda Obage Guna Kanda Minna Mama Obe Depa Venda Tusita Pura Bhamela Pedala Devindu Senakin Tunna Puda Piligani Min Tenu mena seta nata surindum Randamala ele devura parna salupi rangirila Bandi balalo atena dadi tamdana tamena etana tamena tamdana tamena
Ladies and gentlemen, our guest of honor to address all of you. Engineer Chris Oanda is a practicing supply chain professional with over 25 years of experience gained through consultancy and employment in academia, private and public sectors. He worked in oil and gas, commodities, pharma, aerospace and manufacturing across 4 continents. He is the founder, chairman of Kenya Institute of Supplies Management, and is the managing director of the Global Procurement Academy Limited. Created esokoni.com, the first B2B e-commerce platform in Africa in the year 2003, and started its operations in Kenya. He has managed several notable procurement projects, including the reforming of Kenyan Medical Supplies Authority, the creation of the African Airlines Association, a joint fuel procurement consortium for 15 airlines, and the transformation of Kaduna State Health Commodities Supply Management in Nigeria. In recognition of his contribution to the development of supply chain sector in Kenya, Chris was awarded a Presidential Medal Head of State Commendation by the third President of Kenya. Chris has held various positions in IFPSM organization as a senior delegate, board member, African Regional Chair, and now as the President. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Engineer Chris Oanda to address all of you.
Good evening. For some of you who were here in the morning, we welcome you back. I feel that now I am part of ISMM, having been here now for a couple of days with the leadership of ISMM. I appreciate the invitation to be here with yourselves. Mr. Nandama, who has actually been to my country, the chairman of CM City, I recognize your presence, sir. My main host, Jayanta Kalewa, the president, and of course, Sarat, the vice president, president-elect OPA. I thank you for your welcome to your city. All guests invited, ladies and gentlemen, let me observe all the protocols that I may not offend anybody I didn't mention. I want to thank you very much for the achievements that you have made over the past 51 years. In a normal lifespan, 51 years is a real great amount of time leading to maturity in almost anything that you have embarked on in your life. And today, on the 24th of October, as you mark this momentous occasion of not only 51 years of existence, but also commemorating the Supply Chain Day, and also the honor of having a commemorative stamp that has been awarded to your institute. Those are great accomplishments. Sometimes when you are in your hometown and you are the hero in the hometown, it may escape you that the honors you are being bestowed go beyond the borders of your city, of your country, because probably you may not have a continuous comparison of your performance with your peers across the world. I stand here tonight with the advantage of coming back to your country as a guest of ISMM after 9 years, but also having worked with various leadership of the Institute over the years, and also comparing what ISMM has achieved when you look in the class of associations in the Federation, where we've got a number of over 45 associations with a worldwide individual membership of over 250,000. This honored me to be their president from this year. And what you have achieved as ISMM leadership, your members, and the support that you have received from other professional associations is truly remarkable. The journey of professionalism, whether you are an engineer, a lawyer, an accountant, a supplies and materials professional, or an academic, cannot be complete in an ecosystem in which there is no collaboration and coordination with the other professionals in that market. And therefore, the achievement tonight and today of ISMM is really the achievement of all the professionals, the 52 of them, associations in this country. Because if they were bickering, they were pulling one another backwards, you could not achieve what you have achieved today. It stems from the capacity of previous leadership to build on the foundation that was laid. At some stage, I have no doubt, you had challenges in leadership. At some stages, in the 51 years, you had exceedingly successful and emotive issues to push the cooperation forward. Therefore, relationship building, both local, with stakeholders management, with investors, suppliers, sponsors, and indeed even academia, has been very, very important in this journey to bring you this far. I stand here with the benefit of hindsight and also the external view to note that your achievement is both unique and exemplary. And now here is the challenge to our president and his leadership, that what you have achieved here in terms of organization, recognition, and impact in your society needs to go beyond the borders of Sri Lanka. And I, as the president of IFPSM, I do undertake with the leadership that we'll embrace these achievements and we will pronounce them and we'll project them on the world scale so that even those who are discouraged or are still figuring out what is there for them in future success as an association, they can have ISMM as an example to look unto. Indeed, in the Federation, we have some associations and institutes that are extremely large. For instance, the German association, BME, has got thousands of members. The French association, CNA, has got thousands of members. We also do have very small associations, some which have just 350 members, like the association from Croatia. But in the midst of all those, big, small, dynamic, some struggling, we have examples that can be picked up through benchmarking, which now we task ISMM to put on that stage of the Federation platform, that they will show the magic of building relationships with stakeholders led by the government and everybody else to deliver the sort of results and recognition that they have done in your local market. We were speaking earlier with the president of ISMM that it's now time for them to bid for a position as a council member board in the IFPSM Federation. And as president, I will fully support them in that quest. Also, recently, together with the president and a delegation of your members from here, we participated in the Global World Summit that took place in Italy, in the city of Firenze. It was extremely magnificent, and they can bear that testimony. But I can now say here before yourselves that I believe that ISMM, when tasked in the coming days to also host the World Federation Summit in this city or in this country, you'll do a magnificent job based on what I have seen today. So we will support the president and the ISM team when they put in their bid to host the World Summit for the Federation, which will bring together all the Federation members into this country for an occasion that will last over 3 days. We also want to ensure that we do not forget where you've come from. I am extremely delighted that although in this room there might be very many founders of very many things, because you are an industrious nation, you're good at business, and I know that even though you have gone through tough times in the recent past, you know how to rise and move on. And indeed, there are signs in this city and in the country, as I have taken a ride over yesterday, that you are rising through the challenges you faced, where we stood with you as the rest of the world to actually be in solidarity with your recovery. We also want to recognize that the Institute, the ISMM, with their skills and their members, are central to the continued recovery of your economy and bringing great pride and honor to your societies, your industries, your exports from this country to other places. And therefore, the president and his team still have a lot of work to do, but not on their own. There is international support from the Federation, and we'll continue to do that. One particular founder, Gerard, who is on the table here with us today, shares a lot with me. He shared this morning his history and the fact that 51 years ago, he was one of the founder members of the Institute at its nascent stages. I was really delighted to learn that, because I, standing here before you, I was also the founder member with my wife, Christine, of the Institute back in Nairobi, way back in the early 2000s. So we share a lot with Jerry, and thank you for that spirit of being there when needed by the community and by society. And I see that you have got a tradition of looking after your leaders, looking after your founders, And Jerry, now in his senior years, he still looks like a young, energetic man going about the business of the association. Let's give him a round of applause. In conclusion, I want to say that I leave this city tomorrow with a lot of fond memories, a lot of wonderful stories, and indeed examples to preach to the rest of the world through the Federation, that in Sri Lanka, when they mean to do things, they do them, and they do them at world-class standards. Thank you very much, and continue in that spirit. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chris Oanda. We have a special token of appreciation to you, being presented by the President of ISMM and the Vice President of OPA, Mr. Jayantha Laheva, along with immediate past President of ISMM and the President-elect of OPA, Mr. Sarath Gamage, been accompanied by Vice President of ISMM and the Chairman of the National Supply Chain Day and the 51st Anniversary Management Committee, Mr. Dimukha Hemantha. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it for Mr. Chris Oanda. In the meantime, we'd like to tender a very special warm welcome to our chief guest, Honorable Minister of Health and Industries, Dr. Ramesh Pathirana, gracing this occasion. Welcome, sir.